So how are you going to do this mini show, right? You already know how to do the date, you know how to do the time, you know how to do the location, but how do you actually save favorites and set this up to be a show or a string of views that you can use to tell the story of your birth? I would suggest having some sort of interesting story about your birth already ready to tell so that you can blend this stuff into it. But script is good, but here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have this set up to just an initial night. Let's say I was born October 31st, 2005. Okay. I've got a nice night here. In fact, you can check when sunrise is just by clicking on this hamburger up here. Okay. And then clicking on, I'm sorry, sunset is what I meant. Sunset, which is 5:02. And I'll just make it a little bit darker. There we go. So let's say this is going to be the first thing that pops up. What I do is I hit Command-Shift-S, or you go up to File and do Save As. And as you can see, I already made a folder for this called My Birthday, and it's in my documents. Okay. And I called this My Birthday 01. All right. So this is the first thing that's going to pop up, right? Cool. So now that that's saved, I can change this to what I want it to be for the next one. So let's say I wanted to show time lapse of what happened. Or actually, no, you know what? I'm going to show the planets first. Here's what I do. I go up to the little hamburger up here, and I click on planets, and I go down and I see, okay, planets and moons. Oh, you know what? I need the labels on for the planets and moons. And there we go. I've got Venus. Oh, it looks like Mercury is down there. And that's about it. But at least I have the planets up there. And let's say I want that to be my next favorite. I want that to be the next thing that people see. So Command-Shift-S or File, Save As. And call that My Birthday 2. Make sure all the spelling is exactly the same, but only the number changes. And there you go. That's the second thing they're going to see. Now, maybe I want to show what happens as night goes by. So the next thing I want to do for the time-lapse portion of this, notice one of the things I grade you on is favorites. The next one is time and date controls and time rates. So this is us changing a time rate. Let's hit stop for a second, just to make sure time isn't passing by. And then we can click on this little burger, and actually 300 times is pretty good. You can also change it if you click on the actual number there. You can change it by typing in a number, like 500 times. You might be thinking, Mr. Webb, it's not moving. That's because I have it on stop. So I'm going to be ready to hit Command-Shift-S, and I'm going to hit play. I'm going to hit play and then immediately hit Command-Shift-S. Okay? Because what that does is it gets everything in motion and gives me the chance to save it right in the beginning when it was starting. So there's My Birthday 3. Okay? Now let's say the next thing I want to do is look at the constellations. I'll stop that, and then I'll go over to this burger over here, click on it, go to Constellations, and then way down at the bottom we see the display options. And what we'll do is we'll turn on, I don't know, I really like the labels and the not the illustrations, the stick figures, but you can try some of the other ones if you'd like. Okay. And what I'll do is I will zoom out a bit, and maybe there's 5 in there I want to talk about. I'll hit Command-Shift-S and then save it as My Birthday 4. Okay. So I've got another one. Okay. And let's say a Messier object is something else I want to find. That's something that's not as easy to find. However, we have this wonderful search bar up here where we can just type something in like a Messier object. And what we can do is we can turn them on. Look, we can even label them. Okay. And oh, there's a good one, M45. So I'm going to scroll. I'm going to move that over. I'm going to zoom on in there. Okay. And I'm going to do Command-Shift-S and save that as my birthday 5. All right. There we go. And then for the next one, I'm going to turn the Messier objects back off. And I'm going to zoom back out. And let's see, what about the moon? I didn't see the moon before. Maybe I have to go later at night to see the moon. So let me move time forward. Oh, look, there's Saturn. That's pretty cool. Oh, it just so happens I picked a new moon. So there's the moon, and you can say basically from this is that there was a new moon on the night of my birth, and it rose pretty much with the sun. Some of you might have other kinds of moons, so let me change that over here. Let me go back. Let's say October 26th. Okay, and let's go back to the morning, 6 something in the morning, and oh look, there's the moon. So you can highlight the moon, or I don't know, maybe just leave it up there. Command-Shift-S, and that'll be my birthday. Whoops, 6, and there we go. All right. So basically, what I have showed you here is how to save favorites, okay? And there should be a folder for where you actually upload all of these favorites. They're great on your computer, but they need to get on the actual system. So have them all in a folder. I will have a link to where you can upload all of your favorites. Okay. I showed you the time and date controls, the time rates, the planets, the constellations, the Messier objects, and the moon. The one thing that I can't really show you perfectly here is the last 3 parts, which are creativity, impact, and organization. Creativity means you're thinking outside the box, making something special. Impact means you have a, you could even make up a little bit of a story or just something that makes the story cool and interesting about your birth. And then organization is everything in the right spot? Is it in a good order? Or are you mumbling around? You don't want to be mumbling around and kind of going in all different directions. Okay? So yeah, with that should give you everything that you need. Don't forget the script, all the little pieces, and all of those favorites. Okay? If you have any questions, don't forget to read the instructions. Then if you have any questions, come ask me.